The 2025 Wyoming High School Alpine Skiing season comes to an end this weekend with the state championships. And back in Jackson Hole is we're at Snow King Mountain Resort this year for Slalom Friday, GS Racing coming up on Saturday. And I'm joined by Jackson Hole head coach Cody Hansen. Cody, thank you for taking a few minutes to chat. I guess, first of all, you guys kind of get put on the hook a lot for hosting year after year. Can you kind of describe the process and what you have to go through to host a big event like a state championship year after year?
Yeah, it has become regular for us, so it's kind of common here. But it's nice that we have two resorts that we can kind of go to. Just that some behind the scenes stuff, we try and stay at Snow King kind of 2 years in a row because that's where we practice, and we like to give them the business that we can give them. Likewise, we also know that everybody in the state loves the Jackson Hole Mountain Resort. So we want to go out there kind of every third year usually. And so if a kid's going through high school, they'll get that opportunity to race there as well and see the big mountain there. So that's kind of how it goes. I will correct you. It's going to be giant slalom on Friday and slalom on Saturday.
Okay, thank you for that correction. Speaking of that, and two different ski runs for the courses on Snow King. How do those get kind of chosen to set up, or what will kind of be the setup for those runs this weekend, Friday and Saturday?
Yep. So there's kind of just two main race runs there. I guess it would be called, I think it's called Elk, but we call it Lane 7 in the race world, and that's going to be the giant slalom. It's a little bit longer and nicer for giant slalom. The slalom course we're going to be on what we call Lane 4, or it's on the Cougar run, and that one is just a little shorter. It Lane 4 is usually a little steeper, but we're going to be starting down lower on it. So I think it's going to make a nice venue. Also, one of the best things about Snow King is if there's parents that aren't skiers, they just stand down there at the bottom and they can watch almost the full race. And we got parents that barbecue and hang out and cheer on their kids and cheer on other kids, and it makes it a really fun event because you can see so much of it.
Well, that sounds awesome. Speaking of that, what are the conditions right now? What are you kind of anticipating weather-wise this weekend? Because I know a year ago this time it was kind of tough because you kind of skied in a blizzard one day and got it in, and then the next day got canceled, which I know a lot of the competitors and coaches were disappointed with, but that happened. So what are we looking at this year?
Yeah, and unfortunately, this time of year, it's always a mismatch of or whatever. It's a mixed bag of things. So last Monday we had to not really scrap practice, but that's because we got a warm spell and everything warmed up and the snow got soft. So we had the kids ski, but not practice. Yesterday we were hoping to get a good practice in, and we got about 3 inches of powder slash at the bottom. It was really warm again, and so it got really sticky, and it kind of became a danger thing. So we actually canceled practice yesterday. So to answer your question, I don't know what we're going to get. Unfortunately, on Thursday there's supposed to be. I've seen reports of 5 to 6 inches of new snow. So that in the race world, new snow doesn't work well for us. If we don't get new snow, it's going to be great because Snow King is always firm. It's always a great race hill. It's that added new snow that's gonna add something in there. Now, normally with a ton of racers, we can kind of push that off the sides, but I can't answer your question very well because we don't have that. We can't look into the future, but unfortunately, the forecast is new snow, at least
All
on
right.
Thursday.
Well, that sounds like a challenge in and of itself. For you coach a very talented and deep Jackson Hole squad, basically year in year out. What do you look at when you see your squads this year?
We have a smaller girls squad. We only have 9 girls on the team this year, which doesn't quite fill up even the JV thing. I know this is only a varsity only race, but the girls are solid. We have a great crew. We are graduating a number of them, but it's a great crew of girls. The boys, like you said, we're deep, and I've been really surprised. We've had some new kids that I had not seen before that are right in the mix with our other boys. And so, during the normal season, our time trials became more anxiety causing than just the races, because they wanted to get on the bus or they wanted to be on the varsity squad. And it's been fun watching them compete and watching them deal with each other and still be friends at the end of the day and stuff like that. But the boys team is deep for sure. Um, and I've said this for a number of years, but I feel like they just keep getting better. Like I feel like the boys team keeps getting deeper and more talented and keeps pushing each other. So that's really neat to see. It's also like unfortunately we've had a lot of kids that haven't ski raced this year because we had 20 plus boys on the team.
Oh, wow.
So some of them didn't even go to meets yet, and this will be their first time to actually be in a race. And they'll ski as extras. They're not varsity, but they'll still at least get to ski their home ski race. So
Gotcha. As you look at, you've been at all the competitions. As you look out around the state, what do you see as competition? Because I know your squads are probably heavily favored going in, going for what is it, like 14, 15, 16 in a row on the girls and boys side. But what do you see from around the rest of the state this year, Cody?
yeah, so Natrona County has two really good skiers. I think they both have won races this year. Evie Crawford and MK Lacko. So those two girls are going to be helping out the Natrona team a ton. But there's some other teams out there that seem to finish more girls in the points. So that's going to become a factor for those other teams, whether that's Cody or Pinedale has a few. But the Pinedale boys team is really the next really good boys team. I feel like we have a few like there's a Gavin from Natrona County's pretty good and stuff. But the boys Pinedale team, they're really strong, and they're always right behind us. And there's a kind of the same thing. There's a few boys that jump into the mix with us, which only makes it more fun. As you may or may not know, next weekend is the high school regional meet.
Yeah.
And so that is happening at Grand Targhee. So quite a few of those same players are going to be with us at Grand Targhee as part of Team Wyoming, which is fun to join forces now and go see how we can do at a regional event.
Well, Cody, that's all I had for you. Thank you for taking a few minutes to kind of chat and preview this weekend's Alpine Skiing State Championships. And knock on wood, you don't get too much snow, but I wish you best of luck this weekend.
Yeah, thanks for your time too, Dave. Appreciate it.